This is Pre-Algebra Chapter 2.4, Variables and Equations. We begin this lesson with a quick vocabulary lesson, so that as we move forward we understand what equation and solution mean. First we begin with equation. An equation is a mathematical sentence that you get when you place an equal sign between two expressions. A solution of an equation with a variable is a number that produces a true statement when it's substituted for the variable. Let's begin by writing some verbal sentences as equations. This first says the sum of x and 6 is 9. That's our verbal sentence. We would rewrite that as an equation by taking x plus 6 equals 9. Statement B says the difference of 12 and y is 15. We would write this as an equation by writing 12 minus y equals 15. Statement C says that the product of -4 and p is 32. We would write this as p times -4 equals 32. You could also write this as -4p equals 32. Same thing. And finally, statement D tells us that the quotient of n and 2 is 9. So we would rewrite this as n divided by 2 equals 9. You could also write this as n divided by 2 equals 9. Both are correct. In our next examples, we're going to use substitution to check for possible solutions to an equation. We want to find out whether 9 or 7 is a solution of x minus 5 equals 2. So first, let's substitute in 9. 9 minus 5 equals 2. Notice we've just placed 9 in for x. Well, does 9 minus 5 equal 2? No. 4 is not equal to 2. So 9 is not the solution. Let's try 7. Once again, we'll simply substitute in the 7 for the x. 7 minus 5 equals 2. 7 minus 5 is 2. 2 equals 2. So 7 is our solution. Now try these first two ideas on your own. For numbers 1 and 2, write the verbal sentence as an equation. For problem 3, check for possible solutions. Now let's move on to solving equations. Finding all the solutions of an equation is called solving the equation. In many cases, we can use mental math to solve simple equations by thinking of the equation as a question. For example, let's look at A. X plus 3 equals 11. Let's reword this in question form. What number plus 3 equals 11? Well, I think it's 8. So let's test that out. 8 plus 3 does indeed equal 11. So we've used mental math, we've checked for our solution, and it is correct. So x equals 8. Let's try another. 16 minus m equals 9. Well, 16 minus what number would equal 9? I'm thinking 7. And indeed, 16 minus 7 does equal 9. So in this case, m equals 7. C is 20 equals 5t. So 20 equals 5 times what number? I'm pretty sure that's 4. So let's substitute that in. 20 equals 5 times 4. Yes, indeed, that works. So in this case, t equals 4. Last one. Y divided by 6 equals -3. What number divided by 6 would equal -3? I think it's probably -18. -18 divided by 6. And indeed, 18 divided by 6 is 3. Following our rules of integer division, we keep our negative sign. So in this case, y does indeed equal -18. Try these next four on your own. Solve these equations using mental math. You can simply write your answer. Let's move on to the last problem of this particular chapter. We're going to write and solve an equation using the story problem as the beginning. So first, let's read this. From 1998 to 2002, biologist Jane Shen Miller grew several lotus plants from ancient seeds she found in China. The oldest seed was about 500 years old. Estimate the year when the seed was formed. Okay, so first let's write a verbal model for this solution. We need to know the year the seed was formed, plus the age of the seed when it sprouted, and that's going to equal the year the seed sprouted. Okay, so here's our verbal equation. Now let's let x represent the year the seed was formed. So because we're only trying to estimate x rather than determine x precisely, we can use 2000 for the year the seed was sprouted. And we're getting that by taking the midpoint between 1998 and 2002. 2000 also simplifies our mental calculations, makes it easy to work with. All right, so let's rewrite this equation. The year the seed was formed, we're going to say is x, plus 500, because we know that the oldest seed was about 500 years old. That's going to equal the year 2000. Now we can solve for the year the seed was formed. We can use mental math to do that. So let's move some things out of the way here so we got a little bit more space. And what would x plus 500 be if it equals 2000? Well, let's see. What plus 500 equals 2000? I think that's probably 1500. So we're going to estimate that the seed formed in the year 1500. And here's the final checkpoint of the lesson. Go-kart rides cost $5 each at the county fair. During the first day of the fair, the go-kart operator takes in a total of $1,000. How many times did people ride the go-karts that day? So write and solve an equation to find the answer. Good luck, enjoy, and I'll see you tomorrow to solve more equations.